Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to this morning's Next Level Motivation book reading journey. I am the author and your host, Donovin Darius. I want to welcome you guys, everyone, this morning. Hope you're off to a great and wonderful day as we're going live here on Facebook as well as Instagram. So listen, I want to welcome you guys again. Here we are at episode 4 of Next Level Motivation book reading with the author, where I get a chance to share some insights, get a chance to read through the book a little bit. And as I read through, I like to pause and just give it other insights, other snippets of encouragement, motivation. So again, remember, today is episode 4. If you have not been a part of it, I upload all these to YouTube. So definitely go to my YouTube channel, Donovin Darius, where you can definitely subscribe. You can subscribe to the channel there. And as you subscribe to the channel, you'll be able to get all the notifications that come up from there. And so as we kind of get started a little bit again, if this is your first time, I want to let you know that release this book, Next Level Motivation, Principles for Living Life to the Fullest. It's a very quick and short read, but it's full of so much information and just inspiration, motivation, things to get you connected. At the end of each chapter, as I mentioned, there's questions for you to dive a little deeper so you can get more out of it and make it relative and personal to you. All right. And so again, as we kind of get started again, we went through introduction on the first 2 episodes. Yesterday, we started chapter 1. Yesterday in chapter 1, we talked about the title of chapter 1 was Knowing Your Value, understanding that you are a diamond. And I gave some comparison of the process of diamonds and how do they give the value for diamonds? Everything between the 4 C's, the cut, the clarity, the color, okay, and the carat. And so again, looking at those, the cut is the fact that, hey, it's unique cut gives the value to that specific diamond. There's all different types of cuts, princess, there's marquise, there's all different types of cuts. And based off of the cut of that diamond will determine the value of it as well. And in life, we all been cut in life, right? We're going through some injuries, we're going through sickness, we're going through health, we're going through good news, bad news, we're going through relationships, we're going through financial struggles, whatever it may be. Life seems to cut us. Well, the cuts are not here to disqualify you. They actually qualify you for the very valuable assets and the brilliance that you are. Then we talk about the clarity, the fact that, hey, clarity is like our purpose. When you can have life and your purpose is so clear to you, you know what you're here to do. You know how you're here to make an impact, and you are doing it. You become even more valuable, just like the clarity of that diamond, the one that they can see through. The fact that, yes, there are blemishes, but the very blemishes does not disqualify it. As I say, it qualifies it. And so the more clear your clarity is, the more clear your purpose is, and you know what you're supposed to be doing, and you're doing it. And you're not just going by what somebody says, what you hear over here. You're not being influenced by that. You're being influenced from the inside out. Okay? And then we talked about again the color. The color very much like the clarity. The color, again, what is the color you see? When you can live life not looking at different color. Yes, hey, I love my beautiful brown skin. I think it's one of the most beautiful things in the world. But I don't live my life walking around looking just for brown people. I look at people, and what I see is I see the very gift of God, the very child of God, the very masterpiece, the creation. And it's with that perspective, it's with those lenses that I get a chance to deal with individuals. And the last part was the carat. The weight of that diamond. You see, in life, there's a lot of weights that we have. When I talk to you, if I talk to you, I'm sure if we talk deep enough or you share a couple of things, I'll be able to hear the weight of your voice, the weight of the burdens that you're carrying around for your family, for your children, for your health, for your life, for your finances, for your future, for your uncertainty, whatever it may be. And there's a weight to it. Well, guess what? The same thing with the weight of a carat. The more heavier it is, the more valuable it is. So is the same thing for you. You have that weight. You have that heaviness. You have that burden. Guess what? Because you're equipped for it. You're made for it. I know it doesn't feel like it sometimes, but the greater one is on the inside of you. And I know one thing that the Creator has said. He said, I'll never put more on you than you can bear, because I'm on the inside of you, holding you up. And so again, as you guys just understand, that was yesterday. We talked about knowing your value. So we're going to continue today, okay, with chapter 1. With chapter 1, we're going to skip as far as the making of the diamond. Okay, I'll go back there. I'll go ahead and read that. All right, so we're going to talk about the making of the diamond. Again, as I'm talking about, we're going to be reading through this book. Again, it's not going to be a long read, but hopefully this is encouragement to you. Make sure you share this post, share this message so other people can join as well. All right, here we go. The making of diamonds. It is with intense heat and pressure that causes carbon to crystallize over the courses of billions of years. These pieces of carbon are formed deep within the Earth's mantle, and then they're brought close to the Earth's surface as a result of violent molten eruptions. It is over 100 miles below the Earth's crust where the source of this magma can be found. To find the smallest diamond, thousands, if not millions of tons of rocks are removed to find these small gems. You see, diamonds aren't of such exceptional value because they were protected from the harsh elements. They don't get their shine because they never went through anything that wanted to break them or have them to give up. Diamonds are the greatest value, and they exist because of the pressure that they endured and the strength that they displayed, despite seemingly unsurmountable odds and unimaginable living conditions. Does that describe anyone here today that's watching this? Have you been going through so much where it seemed like you were so deep within the earth's core that you were so buried underneath the weight and the burden of life and responsibilities? Or are you someone who felt like you wanted to give up because of the pressures of life? You wanted to give up, you wanted to throw in the towel. Did it feel like pressure was from every side and you're trying to breathe and you're just trying to come up for air? Well, if so, guess what? We all can relate to that. I can relate to that. But just like a diamond, it goes to find the most valuable. They go deep into the earth's core. It's like going deep into your heart, deep into your innermost desires, your most passion. And that is from that place that the value comes. Listen, anybody can do something. Anybody can say something and be something just with their mind, just with their conscious mind. Anybody can make a rational decision. But when was the last time you went and searched your heart and asked yourself, what do I really want out of life? What do I want more of in my life? What do I want less of in my life? And it's from there that now you determine the steps that you want to take. You see, like a diamond that is buried deep into the earth, in order for you to shine your greatest value, you have to search the deep part. You can't be manipulated or tricked or influenced by just what's going on, what people say on the surface. You can't do that. You got to start deep. You got to go deep, because just as a diamond, it is there that you're going to find a true value. As it is with diamonds, so it is with you. Life's upheaval stirs up the true value and your true worth that are hidden deep within you, and it brings them to the surface. The heat from your hurt and your hardships and the pressure from your trials all begin to bubble up like magma and form a unique, one-of-a-kind value. It is from the confines of these tough places that talents and treasures within you are able to emerge, allowing you to shine bright under the most dim and bleak circumstances. For a moment, I want you to think about one situation that almost had you give up. That you thought, that there was times you thought, this is it, man. I don't know what it's going to be like. Well, I know what that time was for me, man. I remember when I got out the league. Matter of fact, some of my last games, I felt like I didn't know if I was coming or going. And it wasn't concussions, it wasn't anything of that. But it was on the inside of me. There was a stirring up, and there was a call that I had to answer from the inside, which was going to say, Donovan, what are you going to do now in life? Yes, you done played 8, 9, 10 years in the league. What are you going to do now? Because I'll never forget, I was on the field, and I shared this story before. I was on the field. It was a Monday night football game. It was the day that I broke my leg, a Monday night football game. And it was the first quarter, and we were going against the New York Giants. And I remember I was being out there on the field, and in the middle of the game, I was in the middle of the field, and I couldn't remember the quarterback name, but Tiki Barber was a running back. And I was standing in my stands, and out of nowhere, I heard a voice in the back of my head that said, Donovan, what are you still doing here? I'm like, and at that moment, when I heard that, I'm like, what am I still doing here? And so the fact that at that moment, I didn't have the answer. You see, because what happened before that moment was I started questioning how much longer I wanted to do this. At that moment, I started thinking, you know what, there's more to life than just what I'm doing now. There's more to life than just playing football. There's more to life than me just doing this. So I'm on the field in a Monday night game, and out of nowhere, I hear a thought in the back of my head said, Donovan, what are you still doing here? You see, I didn't have the answer to that question. And so in the midst of that game, right, that happened in the very first quarter, okay, I'm running around, I'm making a couple plays here and there. But remember that life had asked me a question. Life had called me, but I didn't have an answer for it. Because what was I going to do? I'm in the middle of a game. There's millions of people watching. I'm questioning the very core of who I am with what I'm supposed to do. And what am I supposed to do now? I'm in a world that's full of confidence and assurity and certainty, but all of a sudden I'm being the most unsure that there is. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do next. And so I'll never forget, we're in that game, and then I go to make a play. They threw a screenplay to Tiki Barber. And I went to make a move on one guy to go get to the screen, to go get to Tiki Barber. And I made a move on him, right? And I got by him, and he dove from behind me, and he hit my leg, and he clipped my leg, and I tried to get it from underneath me, and bam, crack, hurt my leg broke. And I'm on the field, man, and I'm just heated. And see, at that moment, I wanted to walk off the field. I wanted to get up and just walk off the field at that moment. But I'm sitting on the ground, and at that moment, people came out. My coach came out, and other players came out, and I put my arms on their shoulders, okay? And I remember walking off, and I got a picture, and I'm going to share it with you guys. It's a picture of that moment as I'm walking off, and you can see in my face, I am so mad. Matter of fact, I don't even cuss, but I think I might have gave one out at that moment, right? But here's what I was mad about. I wasn't so mad that I broke my leg. That wasn't it. And I wasn't so mad that I couldn't just walk up the field. I was mad and I was upset because life had gave me a question. Life had called me and I didn't know how to answer it. And so I got off to the sideline and they took me into the locker room. And as I'm in the locker room, I'm in the training table and I'm on a training room table. And one of my pastors was at the game. My pastor was at the game, Bishop McLaughlin. And he called me on the phone and he said, hey, because he was at the game. He said, hey, how are you doing? And I said, I'm at peace. And see, at that moment, most people didn't know, but when I said that, I was at peace. I was not at peace because I'm thinking, hey, man, I got it together. I'm going to bounce back. You know, this is what we do. But I was at peace because I didn't have to answer that question again. See, the fact that my leg was broke, that meant that, hey, now I'm not going to be on the field where that question has to be answered, and I don't know what I need to do with it. And I don't know how to answer that question. You see, as I say that, life is going to call you. Life has your unique number to it, and only you can answer it. And as we started this conversation today, that answer is not going to be found in just your head. It's going to be found deep in your heart, your passions, your deep passions. I'm going to share something right now. I know my man Shamarco's on here. Shamarco Thomas, Syracuse safety. I'm going to share something with you, man. You know what I mean? Now that I see that you on as well. As we say, football is not who we are. It's something that we did. It is a great platform that God's given us the ability to live out and do something very amazing. Less than 1% of people in the world is able to do it. You may be the first person in your family, someone that's able to do something, maybe went to college, maybe got a job full time, maybe went into a new industry, maybe working for your dream job or your dream boss or manager, whatever it may be. You may be the first one, but here's what I want you to know, that life is seasonal and everything comes to an end. And I always think about it like this. Think about the life in the NFL or the life on your job or life in this career. Think about it as an airplane ride. And that is this. Okay, you get on the airplane and you're going from one place to the next. The NFL has a start, the NFL has an end. Your career has a start and your career has an end. So the time that you're on the plane is like the time that you're in your career. You're in football, you're in whatever that business is. But it's going to come to an end and that plane is going to land. And so here's the thing that where most people fail, where most people get disappointed, where most people lose it or don't realize the power of it, is that while they're on the plane, they're doing all this other stuff and they're just going with the flow. And then they find themselves, when the plane lands, they're at baggage claim and just looking around and have no idea where they need to go, what they need to do. You see, the most powerful way that you can maximize that plane ride, the experience you're in, the journey you're in, the career you're in, the moment you're in, is to start to plan. What are you going to do next? Now watch this. While you're on the plane, you can't do anything else though. You think about that. You can't really do anything. You can't go over here. You can't go over there. But here's what you can do. You can plan out what are the next steps. You can be on the plane and understand that I need to search inside my heart. I need to go back to my imagination. I need to think about, well, how do I want to use what I have now to move forward? And I want to think about when I get to baggage claim and I get my bags, what is the first place I want to go? Where do I want to go? Who do I need to call? Where do I need to talk? How do I plan this thing out? You see, now last, one of the most tragic things is for a person to be at the airport stuck at baggage claim, not having anywhere to go, because everywhere will take you nowhere. And so again, man, I just wanted to encourage you with that. And anybody, know that life is seasonal. Know that wherever you're at right now, it's only temporary. But the most powerful way that you continue this journey is for you to plan it out. What are the next steps? You may say, Donovan, I don't even know exactly. That's okay. That's a start. But what do you know? What do you know you like to do? What do you know you don't like to do? And plan that out. And plan it out. All right, so remember, man, life is going to come at you. Life is going to pressure you. All these things are going to happen. And what I said, reason why I shared that is because at that moment, that question that I got asked, it was like the world was just heavy on me because I didn't know what to do. Yeah, on the football field, man, I was beast mode, man. I loved it. Listen, I felt like the harder I played, the more I was thanking God for the gifts I had. The harder I hit somebody, the more I was thanking God for the gifts I had. So I go to hit Eddie George, boom, thank you, Jesus. I hit Jerome Bettis, bam, thank you, Lord. And so I felt like the more I could do, the more I was doing it, the harder I worked, the more I was thanking God for the gifts I had. Because guess what? I was just a kid from Camden, New Jersey, born one of 5 children by the age of 23 with my mom, you know what I'm saying? Had very little, very humble beginnings. And this was my platform to create an experience for not only myself, but my family, and then all those that I come in contact with. So I'm going to maximize this moment. I'm maximize this moment out there. But the fact that I was out there and I had no idea what I was going to do next, that brought a sense of anxiety to me. It brought a sense of, uncertainty to me. And it brought a whole lot of other things to me. So if you can relate to that, if you understand that, if that story made sense to you at all, do me a favor, type a 1 real quick. Let me know that you got something out of that, all right? As we continue to go, we got a couple minutes left, all right? It says, diamonds begin as brittle, combustible carbon coal deposits and hardly the attractive, prized stone that are the most sought after gems in the world. And really, who would consider wearing a piece of coal that's set in gold around your finger or your neck? Who would think that? However, through years of intense heat and extreme pressure, their humble, painful, gritty beginnings ultimately gave way to a beautiful, brilliant, and valuable destination. Man, I can put my name in that. I'm going to put my name in that. You put your name in that. Watch this. Donovan began as a brittle, combustible carbon coal deposit, hardly the attractive, man, I used to have Buck T, right? Prized stone, you know what I'm saying, that are the most sought after gems. Listen, I was a first round draft choice, one of the most sought after safeties in the league, in the world. It said, who would consider wearing a piece of coal? Who would consider having Donovan, you know what I'm saying, represent their organization, represent their team, represent their city? However, watch this, through years of intense heat and extreme pressure, through years of humble beginnings, through years of going forward, stepping back, through years of disappointments, failures, all those things, discouragements, and through my humble, my painful, and my gritty beginnings, ultimately gave way to a beautiful, brilliant, and valuable destination. Listen, I'm here today because of my beginnings. I'm proud of the things I went through. I'm proud that I went through humble beginnings. I'm proud that I was let go. I'm proud that I was forsaken at times. I'm proud that I was, that somebody disappointed me. I'm proud of the times that I didn't have. I'm proud of the emotions, that I didn't understand. I'm proud of times when I went through mental situations, I didn't try to understand what was going on. I'm proud of my divorce. I'm proud of the times, the relationship. I'm proud of that. Why? Because what did it do? It said these extreme pressures, the humble, painful, gritty beginnings ultimately gave way to a beautiful, brilliant, and valuable destination. Listen, I'm not done living life yet. I'm going to keep living, but I do know one thing. My ending has everything to do with because of my beginning. You see, if I'm traveling upstairs, okay, and on every floor there's another gift, there's another prize for me. No matter how much somebody on the second floor want to give me the gift, no matter how much somebody on the third floor want to give me the prize, no matter how much somebody on the fourth floor want to give me basically, you know what I'm saying, what I always wanted, I can never get those things if I don't walk up those steps. I can never get those things if I don't put in the energy, put in the effort, put in the determination, and be committed to walking up one step at a time to get to the second floor, to get what is rightfully mine, to get what is waiting for me. What is waiting for you in your next level of your life is waiting for you. Nobody can get it for you. Nobody can give it to you. Okay? Nobody can throw it to you. Only you can get it. I don't care whether you're 20, 30, 40, 50, or 60. The very fact that you still got breath in your body means there's something else for you still to do. How much wisdom do you have? How much life experiences do you have? Are you giving it away? Guess what? You are a failure. You are a failure if you are not pouring into somebody, giving them information to leave a legacy. You are a failure because life is meant to be lived on. I often think about, as I ran track and my daughter runs track and my whole family runs track, and think about your legacy and think about success as a relay team. Okay, one of the most important relay teams we used to have, the last relay of the track meet was a 4x4. And if you know 4x4, man, that is where it all comes down. No matter how many races you ran earlier that day, the 4x4 is the best. And a lot of times the results of the track meet comes down to this 4x4. And so in that 4x4, you got 4 guys and they each run one time around the track. And in that time, okay, you have 4 guys running around the track and the whole goal Okay, the whole goal is to get that baton around that track. You see, life is just like that. Your legacy is just like that. The most important thing in your life, the most important thing in that relay team, in that relay, is not the people. The most important thing is not the individual people in that race. You know what the most important thing is? The most important thing is that baton. And that baton in life represents your legacy. That baton in life represents the wisdom you have, the stories that you think that you can tell, the insight, okay, the love that you have, the presence that you have. That most important thing in that relay is that baton. You see, no matter how fast that baton goes, there's sometimes in your life that the baton is going fast, that life seems like it's just rushing by. And there's sometimes it seems like it's just walking in slow motion. But at the end of the day, what will disqualify you is if that baton stays still and it stops. What will disqualify you a lot of times if that baton hits the ground. And so in life, no matter how old you are, who are you pouring into? What is documenting your thoughts? What is documenting your wisdom? What is documenting the insights? So you're preparing, your legacy is all about preparing the world, your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, your great-great-grandchildren, your great-great-great-great-grandchildren for the wisdom, the insights that you have. Nobody can tell them that but you. Nobody can teach them that but you. But if you don't write it down, if you don't document it, if you don't press record, if you don't write these things down, if you don't do any of those things, then how will they ever know? How many people out here complain about the way the world is? But guess what? You have the ability to change it. You have the ability to change it. And so just like a relay race, the most important thing is that baton going around that track. So it's the same thing for you. I know you've coached years upon years, and you're like, I'm in my retirement years. I know you did, but you still got more. How are you now pouring down into the wisdom, into the next generation of coaches? How are you taking the great wisdom and insight, the do's and don'ts that you learned, and pouring into the next generation of coaches? What are you doing for that? Or you're sitting back retiring. You're sitting back just being retired. Well, you know what retiring is? I'm getting tired over and 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 over again. What are you doing to build up the next person? Who are you pouring into? If you're actively mentoring someone right now, if you're actively pouring into somebody right now, do me a favor, type a 1. If you hear what I'm saying and you see, you know what, Donovan, you're right. I need to actively find somebody that I can pour into, that I can share some insight. I can walk alongside. Doesn't mean I got to say everything to them, but just sometimes listening to them and then giving insight where necessary. If you're hearing what I'm saying, you're like, I'm not doing that right now, but I think that it makes sense what you're saying. Do me a favor, type a 2, just so I can recognize you as well. And so again, as you think about this, guys, remember, the relay race, most important thing is that baton. That's why I always say, make your impact and leave your legacy. That's why I'm on these forums. That's why I do what I do. I do what I do because I'm not only preparing this world just for you and just helping you walk along, but it's for my children. It's my great-grandchildren. And I know that if I can speak into somebody's mind and give them a perspective and walk with them, then I know by the time that my time is done, here on this earth, that my children, my generation will be impacted in a way that they were impacted because I made a decision, just like that plane ride, to write it out. I made a decision to push record. I made a decision to write things down. I made a decision to do what it is I do. I made a decision to get out of the gutter. I made a decision to walk in faith. I made a decision, and I say the same thing to you. So I say to you today, what did you get out of this message? What is speaking to you? What is that one nugget that you got from today, from this next level motivational book reading journey that we're on today? What did you get from it? What spoke to you? Do me a favor, type your comments down. If you get a chance, type your comments down here. Don't forget to like and subscribe these things if you're liking these videos, okay, and you're liking these journeys that we're traveling on today. Listen, I really appreciate you guys' time. Thank you so much. Don't forget, YouTube is where I'm going to be uploading all these episodes. So if you miss any, you can go back, okay, and then definitely go ahead and start sharing them. Okay, thank you, D. Definitely go back and start sharing them with other people. Don't hold the wisdom. Don't hold the knowledge. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Take a bold step. Pass it down. Pass it down. Life is seasonal. Don't stop it. All right. So listen, man, you guys be encouraged today. Have an awesome and wonderful, wonderful day. Remember, if you don't have it, you can definitely get your copy on Amazon. Next Level Motivation: Principles for Living Life to Fullness. Okay. Again, it was a simple read. I also got the audio book that I recorded, but I'm about to launch that as well. Haven't done that yet, but working on some other projects as well. So you guys stay tuned. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to pour out my purpose with passion and share and walk this life with you guys. So listen, you guys be blessed. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, man. God bless you. Love you guys all, and be blessed today. Peace out.